Hey guys, so here's my third trade on March 30th. We traded Apple. Um, so let's go to Apple's overall chart. So as of late, like most of the market, Apple's looked real strong. Um, what hasn't been breaking out of a squeeze, but just overall looked good. Now you can see it's be trading between a daily level of 176 and a 4 hour level of 181. Um, but you can see today that market showed some weakness. So if we go into Apple, I like to trade Apple with um, the SPY and Q because typically Apple tends to mirror what the SPY and the Q do. Not necessarily like, you know, at the very second that the SPY and the Q makes a move, the Apple's going to make the same move, but it tends to make the same move, but it's delayed a bit. So I always say, if you want to get in on Q puts or if you want to trade the Qs but do a little bit cheaper, you can always get into Apple and trade Apple as well. But you can see here, um, so market kind of started having some strength, then it started selling off. These black lines are intraday levels for the SPY, and you can see here, I entered around nine. I think it was nine, like 13. Yeah, 911. So this is it was like a 2 minute trade. But you can see here, I entered here on Apple, and you can see my little lines on the SPY and the Q. Um, you know, what I liked is it was breaking out of a 5 minute squeeze. So I decided to enter. So I entered here. So really, I should have entered back up here as we were breaking down, but I entered on that third bar here. Now the reason why I got out of the trade, so I ended up entering on the trade here. I'm gonna think about the 175 and a half puts, and I ended up losing I think 3% on this trade. But it was a 2 minute trade, very quick trade. Um, Now the reason why I got out is because if you look at when we were breaking out, right? So you can see the SPY, the Q, and Apple were all breaking to the downside here, but you can see we had in the SPY this huge pin bar right here, right? So we had um, some support coming in on the SPY, and the Qs was getting close to this daily level where it had support at. So we had a pin bar on the Q and a pin bar on the SPY right as I was entering that trade. So that's what caused me to get out. I would have liked to see that push down. So you can see here, if I would have stayed in, right, we reverted all the way back up here and then came back down to retest. Um, did kind of a double bottom, and then we sold off the rest of the day here. But that's what kind of got me out of the trade here on Apple. Plus, if you blow up Apple, um, here let's look at if you go back to pre-market levels, you can see here, see where we were basing at that 177 and a half level, and then we came down, we touched it, and we couldn't push through it because if we could have pushed through it, we at least would have came down to that 176, 177 level. And then once the SPY and the Q were pushing off that level and we couldn't close below that I definitely wanted to get out. That's why we had that huge green bar, and then you can see we just literally just based around that level before we went back up. So, anyways, with that being said, um, as always, hopefully you traded well today, mitigated risk, and took A plus setups. So, questions, concerns, comments, hit me up, and we'll go from there. All right, talk with you guys later.